Learned Beauty. It's your girl EuniyceMari here. Hopefully you guys are taking care of yourself physically as well as mentally. Today I'm going to be talking all about waist beads. We're going to talk about waist beads, and the reason why I decided to make this video is because on my journey of finding waist beads, finding more information about waist beads, there were a lot of things that I just couldn't discover, like questions that I had when it came to waist beads. So I want to share with you guys all about what waist beads are, kind of answer some of those questions, as well as my personal journey with waist beads, why I wear them, etc., etc., and some things for you to consider if you are going to decide to wear waist beads or get waist beads, or if it's something that you've been eyeballing. Before we get started, if you hear noises, I'm in the front part of the house, so there's a lot of like movement going on right now. So if you hear little people talking and all that, okay, just don't mind it. Okay, so first let's start off with what are waist beads. Okay, so waist beads are an African tradition. Waist beads are beads around the waist. They are worn for different reasons. So you have them worn for spiritual reasons, body shaping, weight loss, even like symbols of like marriage, or if you're looking for a man, adornment, just body adornment. There are many of meanings behind waist beads, and so and you know, it's an African tradition, so you want to make sure that you do your research on waist beads. I always say, before you jump into anything that you are going to do, know the meaning behind it. Be smart, don't just throw something on your body. So that is what waist beads are, okay? And there are, like I said, many reasons behind why women wear them. In America, I think you see it more used for a weight loss, or recently I've seen a lot of women using waist beads for a weight loss. That has blown up drastically, I think, in the last couple of weeks or so. I've noticed it, or maybe because I've been looking at waist beads on Instagram and they just been popping up in my feed. But anyways, so yeah, so that's pretty popular out here. Like, people use them to gauge their weight and all of that. And so waist beads come in different types. So you have the traditional string waist beads. Those are the ones that you tie on. Those are more permanent. They don't come off until you cut them, but that is a traditional waist bead. It is on a string. You line it up, you measure it correctly where you want it to fall, either in your waist, either waist, high hip, or hip. I think it's high hip and hip, okay? And you just kind of measure them. They can also fall anywhere between those lines depending on what you want, but the string waist beads are more permanent, okay? You don't take those off unless you cut them off. You have another kind of waist bead that is the twist on class. Those are the ones that I have on now. They're more of my favorite, and we'll talk about why when I get to my personal experience and all that. But you have those. You have the lobster class ones, and then you have ones that come on the stretchy string, which I don't really suggest. I would suggest the tie-on or something with a clasp, okay? And something that has more of like either a wire to it. You don't want really anything stretchy. You want something that's just gonna be, okay, firm. Wire, or either like what's it called, like that fishing line. I don't know if that, I think it's fishing line. But yeah, so you want to for sure look for something that's a little bit more stable. I really don't suggest the stretchy ones, okay, because they probably won't last that long. They'll pop. I don't think they really even have like glass beads on them, because I do say, when you are looking for waist beads as well, make sure you do your research, okay? Do your research. You want to make sure you do your research, because I did a lot of my research finding the right person to buy from, as well as you want to make sure you were getting a glass bead. So you just want to make sure you are getting quality. Don't rush into buying waist beads because you just see something on Amazon. No, do your research, okay? And so make sure you get quality waist beads. It's going to be worth it, and you don't want them popping and breaking like 2 days after you get them, okay? So quality is everything. So let's go ahead and let's jump into my personal experience with waist beads, or my personal journey with waist beads. I don't know if I covered everything, but if it's a little jumpy in this video, then whatever, as long as I get like the points to you guys. But anyways, so my personal journey with waist beads. So some years ago I saw waist beads. years ago. I saw waist beads and I was like, oh my gosh, those look so beautiful. Like, what are those? I did a little bit of my research, found out what they were, but that was it. Like, it didn't really, like, I didn't purchase any. I didn't go any further with that. Then a couple of months ago, I came across waist beads again. I can't remember how I came across them. I don't know if it was like something that popped up on my Instagram feed and I was like, oh my goodness, those waist beads are so beautiful once again. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna get me some. And then I started researching it a little bit more into them, researching the colors of the waist beads and different meanings of the colors with waist beads, and just figuring out why I personally wanted to have waist beads. Waist beads for me are more of a spiritual meaning, connecting with my feminine energy, self-love. Like, that's my reason for wearing waist beads. And as we talk about this further, I've been on my spiritual journey for quite some time. It's been probably like 2-3 years now, maybe even more, with my spiritual journey. And my waist beads, the colors that I chose are white, browns, gold, earth tones, browns. I have a black one, and like, white is purity, peace, it's cleansing, black is protection, browns and earth tones are more grounding, gold is wealth. And so for me, even at this point too, where I'm at in my life, I'm all about that. I'm all about being more grounded. I'm all about you know, being, you know, having that clean, positive energy around you, protecting myself, because that is a key. I don't care what you practice, having protection around you and protecting yourself spiritually is always a must. And just keeping myself, you know, stable, because you have to. Like, in this world, it doesn't matter what you do, where you go, if you are not stable, that can fall into a lot of other areas of your life. Okay, so that's my reason as to why I wear them. I prefer the clasp ones, and I'm going to actually show you guys the clasp one that I have on. I prefer clasp waist beads because I like to do full body exfoliating. And I like to take these off when I do that, because I don't get sugar and stuff in them. Also, I don't know, I just like the option of being able to remove them and not having to like cut them off. So here is what the clasp looks like, and you just screw them into one another. So I like that these, I can just take them off if I'm going to do a full body exfoliator. I've had one tie on. It's on my arm right now. I bought this one from another girl. Oh, I forgot her name. I'll put it here on the screen, but actually she has a whole YouTube on here as well when it comes, she sells waist beads. She's a really, really great girl. And her waist beads are actually pretty nice. It's just that the one that I bought was a tie on. And the thing about tie-ons is that you have to like measure it like correctly, and I made it a little bit too tight and it was like choking me, so I ended up having to cut it off, and then I just turned it into like a little arm like bead, you know, so I didn't waste the bead. So yeah, but I prefer these because I can take them off when I choose to, as well as a part of my spiritual practice is that all my jewelry, my beads on my arm, I like to take them off, sage them down, cleanse them, anoint them, and put in, you know, new intentions and clean intentions into them. And my waist beads are a part of that. It's very personable to each person. Somebody may be like, what? But I like to take my waist beads off, cleanse them down, put some frankincense oil on them, beauty oil on them, put some intention into them, and just really put the energy into them that is for me. And because I wear a lot of my jewelry, you guys see I wear my bracelets, my earrings, like you guys see I wear jewelry, and because it is something that is on my body a lot, I want to make sure that energy is great when I'm wearing it. Okay, so like I said, it's a spiritual, for me, it's a spiritual meaning for me, as well as connected to my womb, and I feel sexy when I wear them, you know. So yeah. Next, there are many different ways in which women wear waist beads. I know a lot of, traditionally they're worn more so inside of your clothing. They're not really seen or shown, but usually now people wear their waist beads out. You know, it's more of an adornment, or some of people wear it for the adornment meaning, so they wear them outside their clothing. Personally, for me, it depends. I usually wear them behind my clothing, but today I actually wore them out out on top of my clothing. But I don't really wear them out on top of my clothing too much. But I sometimes, like today, I wanted to wear them out. So it just depends on how I feel. I do wear them more so underneath my clothes than I wear them out. But you can wear them either way. You just have to do what you feel is comfortable and what works for you, okay? Another thing I want to touch on is showering, because that was one that I was looking for and nobody really talked about. So showering. So you can shower with these waist beads on. That's why I say you want to make sure that they are great quality. The waist beads that I have from Swahili Girl, she is an Etsy seller. Her waist beads are made very, very well. I asked her, like, can I shower with them? What's the care like for her beads? And she said you can shower with them on, you know, dry them down, and you're good to go. So when I shower with them, I pretty much just pull them up and I will shower, and I will just shower underneath them, around them, make sure that I thoroughly rinse them off in the shower. But you definitely can shower with them on. I have been doing it for a while now and I haven't had any issues. Oh, measuring yourself. Okay, so you want to make sure you're measuring yourself correctly. My waist beads are currently 32 through 37, and I'll break down the sizes for you guys really quickly on here. And I'm sorry that I don't know if you guys can really see the waist beads because they are the color of my skirt, but let's see if I can show you guys. Okay, so okay, so this is an up close of my waist beads. I have a size 32 here. I believe this is a 33 or 34. You guys, I don't even know anymore. But anyways, it's 32 through 37. 37 being these lower ones here on the hip, okay? So these are my waist beads. I'm gonna have more coming in so that I can fill them up a little bit more. And they're just nice. I like how they look. I like how they adorn the body. They're tiny. You can't really see them. And I like that. So these are my waist beads. I'll turn around so you guys can see them in their full entirety. And I like the clasp on them too, because the clasp on them is tiny, so you can't really see it. If I can show you guys, look, you can't really see the clasp. Even though it's there, you can't really see it. You just turn it around to the back and nobody knows, okay? So yeah, those are my waist beads. Now, the 37s, you see how they fall like on my, I think it's called just the hip. So these just fall on the hip. Now, I wouldn't purchase 37s again. I like the two and how they just kind of sit there a little low, but I find that they just get in the way. Okay, I feel like I want something that's a little bit more higher on the hip. So I would definitely go with anything from the size of 33 through 35 or 36. Okay, 36 will actually sit a little bit higher than the 37s, so maybe not 36, maybe just a 35 because it's a little bit closer. I did order, I currently have on 6 waist beads. I did order, let me see, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I have on 7 waist beads, and I ordered 4 more. I wanted to kind of just make them look a little bit more fuller, and then that's it. Because you guys, waist beads are addicting. I'm gonna tell you this right now, and they're $5.99 a piece from the girl that I buy them from, but they are so freaking addicting. Like, listen, if you are not careful, you will be wearing 20 waist beads, okay? So in that case, I'll have 11 waist beads, and that kind of symbolized something to me, because if you guys remember back in the day, that video I put up, how I kept seeing 444, 11, 11, and if you follow me on Instagram, you will see the same thing has been happening, where I have been seeing 12, 12, no, 12, 22, 12, 12, 11, 11, 10, 10, like all these little numbers have just been, you know, popping up once again. So I thought 11 was like, okay, 11, 11, like I said, it's more spiritual for me for these, so that it just sounded about right. So I'm gonna have 11 waist beads in total, okay? So another little thing that I do, so when I get them, okay, I'll share 2 things with you guys that I do, and then we're done. When I get my waist beads, I always cleanse them. So I take sage and I cleanse them down, removing any energy, and then I will anoint them with the oil like frankincense or a beauty oil that I have, and I will put my intention into them, and I will apply them. Then I would put them on one by one. Like I said, this is a spiritual meaning for me, okay? So that's how I do it for my spiritual practice. Now, it may be different, like I said, if you're doing it for weight loss or anything like that, it's totally different. But that's how I get down. Also, like I told you guys, for my jewelry in general, I like to remove it, clean it, put my intentions into it, and put it back on. So also what I would do is I would take off all my jewelry that I have on, my beads, my wristlet, my beads, my anklets, earrings, anything that I wear, because usually my jewelry I wear kind of every day or all the time. I don't really take them off. I would take them all off, sage them all down, anoint them, put my intention into them, and then I will put them back on, okay? And that is just to keep the energy flowing through my jewelry. And you know, jewelry to me has more of a meaning than just something that adorns the body. It does adorn the body, but I feel like jewelry does hold, it can hold energy as well, okay? So that's just something that I do. That's just something that's with my personal spiritual practice. But of course, that's different for everyone. But hopefully this video was beneficial for you guys, and you guys can definitely, you know, you guys can definitely get something from this video when it comes to waist beads. Alright, you guys, so hopefully this video was beneficial and it's something different and something a little bit more personal that I share with you guys. But hopefully you guys took something from it. If you didn't know anything about waist beads or you had any question about waist beads, hopefully this video was beneficial for you. If you guys have any questions about waist beads, go ahead and ask me down below, as well as I will put in the description bar the girl that I purchased my waist beads from. She has amazing reviews. She is amazing, and so go and check her out. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to rate, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you guys in a later video. Bye.